check this out. I know we're around mixed company, but can I get a year? First of all, I just want y'all to give a quick round of applause to yourselves for being here. One more for Raheem Nelson. Artshow. I'm Chris Latif. I am 1/4 of the Rhythm and Brewz Podcast. We'll bring the mic over to my left.
Boy, what's up? I am 2/3. Yeah, I'm not even gonna go there. I'm saying, not look like a fool. My name is Mr. R&B Smooth. I am the third of the Rhythm and Brewz Podcast, and always on my left, usually on the ones and twos, but he's not here today. Would be our fourth member, DJ Dept, but he couldn't make it tonight, so yeah. And may I please have introductions of you guys and what you guys do?
What's going on, everybody? My name is Eve Wilson. I'm a filmmaker, fine artist, and writer. New Haven. Nothing so far.
Hi, my name is Brandon Fletcher. I'm an animation director, animator, and compositor based out of New York.
Hey there, everyone. T. Montgomery, T like the drink. And I'm an overall creative. Right now, my focus is wearable art, clothing, and accessories, and enhancing the creative entrepreneur ecosystem.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jean-Paul Tremaine. I'm a digital artist similar to Raheem. I also do whiteboarding. He put me onto that, and I'm retired from NYPD. So,
All right, so we're going to get into an icebreaker question. If you had to compare your art style to any cocktail, what would it be and why? And this is for all of y'all. So any one of y'all could start.
I have the mic in my hand, so I'm a teetotaler. I don't drink at all.
Okay.
You got the ginger. My art style is a little bit of fashion, anime, traditional comic book style, and a little urban style, which is when it wasn't big.
My style is not being able to narrow it down to one drink.
Okay. He said he got the ball.
The last word is my classic drink. I discovered it at this spot called 116 Brown downtown. It's no longer in existence. Rest in peace, John. Right now, my go-to is a margarita. Call it a mar if you're nasty. And then my strong drink, my sophisticated drink is just whiskey or old-fashioned, something like that.
I would have to say a margarita, but specifically a mezcal margarita. Margaritas are fun. I think my artwork is fun, but mezcal, a little smoky, a little grungy, a little sophisticated. So I'll add that to it. And I'll probably say like a second drink will probably be one of my favorite drinks. It's penicillin, which is a Scotch-based drink. So a little sophisticated, fun, sophisticated.
That's what's up. I'm getting put on.
Yeah, they taking notes on that penicillin.
Listen, wait, yeah, my face ain't what?
We don't need to go on.
People tired of one man.
No, you definitely right on this, man. Let's make that. I mean, my work, I'm always like using an archive, like we talked about earlier, there. So I'm always referencing my family and the history, and I like the familiar. And there's a drink that reminds me of my childhood, and it's conventional, so it's just warm wine, and it's a popular French drink in the fall, in the winter, and so it's like similar to like a hot toddy, but with wine, you know what I mean? And it's something like some spices, you know, and I think that's something that feels very close to my heart, and so like, you know, good memories. I don't have it in the bars that often. When I go out, usually it's just like a beer or something like that. And I think for the most part, I'm always looking for something that where I recognize myself in. So I'm just saying vegetable, that I want to rock with that.
All right.
Do we want to answer this question ourselves or what?
As far as our artists concerned,
I mean, we're all artists.
The people want to know.
alright, so I'm a R&B artist, singer-songwriter, so man, it had to be between a margarita and a whiskey, some smooth, and then margaritas for the fun.
Specific brand or I'm looking for recommendations right now?
I don't have a specific brand. I never have a specific brand for the margaritas really, but for my whiskey, I'm actually now on to Sir David because I got a bottle of that for my birthday. That's Beyonce. Beyonce is Sir David. And then I'm a big Crown and Uncle Nearest as well. So Uncle Nearest is smooth, man. He's shaking his head. He's like, you got a story?
I can't stand Crown, man.
Oh,
Okay. Also, I want to say something about not Miss Margaret. So
you got a story. I'm a stand-up comedian. Also do poetry. I'm also an improv comedian too. And I would say rum punch. That's because it's like I'm very quiet until like I get on the stage, and then I just hit you, and then you just and then it's just like a couple drinks later, you're like, what the fuck happened? But that's
I'm a photographer, filmographer, and poet. I would say I'm like a smoked old fashioned, real classic, tasteful, and just gives you a little bit of that punch. You know what I mean? Yeah. So let's see. Tommy. So, I had the idea to name this particular live podcast Millennial Renaissance Men, as a nod to the art of Renaissance of the 1920s and 30s. As we are now 100 years later, the role of creatives seems to be a lot more necessary, but yet less celebrated, as far as day-to-day life is concerned. So my question to that would be, how would you want your art to impact the world around you when all is said and done? And because you have the mic, we can start with you.
No, this is a good question because I think about this often. I'm sorry, this is something that I don't have the answer to, but I'm always seeking, right? When I think about the impact that I want to make, it's one where I want people to be able to gather around ideas of, again, the familiar, be able to recognize the importance of objects that come across and people and ideas that they come across that may seem banal, but really are things that bring us together and are things that we can come together and discuss important ideas over and maybe connect us to a past that we don't acknowledge often enough. In my work, there are objects, there are glances, there are experiences that I think we go through or we come across in community, but we don't talk about as often, especially with technology and like the lack of like conversation that's had in the past, I'd say like 10 years or so. And I hope that conversation can be had over my work for decades, you know, to come, hopefully. Yeah. But if not, then now is perfectly fine with me because, you know, we do.
Come from this in like 3 different ways. And it's based on my 3 different ways I work. So there's my day-to-day job where I normally work for a studio company, and I was previously at Nine and Nickelodeon. And it's an educational app, and it was very fulfilling because we were teaching kids, and education was really important to me. And seeing kids learn and seeing parents say that, hey, you know, my kid loved this game, my kid loved this thing, and they learned so much. So they didn't only love it, they learned, and I think that's really important. And we did just more than just general learning. We did things about social emotions, of sharing, and being nice to each other, and things like that. And I think those lessons are important, and I think kids need to understand that because they soak up everything, and sometimes you don't, you know, you can just be around a kid and you're just saying something, and they're going to soak it all in, and they're going to repeat it, and it's, you know. So I come from it from that angle, but also the angle of, you know, one of my hobbies is photography. So like, my photography, I just want people to feel something. I don't care what it is, honestly. Okay. But I do want to build some sort of emotion from it. And then there's like my own personal work where I just feel like, yeah, it should be fun. It should be engaging. It should be something that you can talk about with someone at the work or whatever like that. So
the baseline of everything that I do is to inspire, empower, and save souls. And so whether it's creating wearable art, or cooking, making music, creating event experiences, whatever it is, or whatever conversation or interaction I have with someone is so that we leave different and that we become the best and greatest versions of ourselves, the highest, most supreme versions of ourselves. And that's really what my art is about. So inspiring people to come on this journey of, again, becoming the best and greatest version of ourselves. And that's the most simple way I can think of it.
Thank you. Art for me initially was an avocation. It was something that I did for fun. It was something that I did to de-stress. Most of the people I work with, they drink. I draw. So it was like my little getaway from everything. But I think what I would like my art to do is cross over different lines. I'd like other people. I'd like to. I've done some magazine work. I've done a few comic book covers. I would like. I think I would like to get some sort of representation so that I could be multifaceted, go all over the place. I want to be like my friend Raheem here and travel overseas and do all the work too. That's it basically. Just, you know, probably, you know, have my website get that traction, have people buy more of my art, and continue doing art shows.
Nina Simone says it's an artist's duty to reflect the time. How would you say you guys are doing
Okay, I'll start. I got the mic. My art is very contemporary. It's literally in my bio. It says I'm a contemporary digital artist. Basically, I do urban art. I don't know if you remember a few years ago, probably before COVID, there was a kid who was a model on H&M, and he had like a sort of derogatory term on his green jersey. I rebranded that, and I made him the king. I put something like he's the king. I could actually show the image, but I actually put that he was that he was the king of the urban jungle. Was a purpose to, you know, the derogatory animal that they accepted that he was going to be. You know, I just think that our work should express something. It should express something to the people. it's really funny that the field that I went into, law enforcement, kind of contradicts my viewpoints because I'm super Afrocentric. So I work with people whose ideas always contradict mine. But I figured I could always help one person at a time. There's a website where you can look at cops and stuff like that. And if you look at my name, I have no CCRBs, I have nothing negative at all. So I think that's a stepping stone. And I think that we should all try to help each other, stop gatekeeping and just try to help each other as best as possible. Especially with our art. Me visually, do with your music, do with your stand-up, do with your photography, do with your photography, do with your fashion. I mean, with administration, I think we should all, be together. Maybe we do something after this.
Art represents the times. Is that the question?
Yeah, how would your art be reflected in times?
A few different ways for me. On the front level, I create based on how I feel or how I want to feel. I create based on this journey of self-discovery, of being the best version of myself. And so the message that I present represents that. It's a very active, ongoing journey, a very right now thing. For example, I started creating caps because I needed an accessible product for people, something that's easy to buy, doesn't cost a lot. I started making my adventure bag, which is a big bag. It can be worn as a backpack or a crossover, but it fits perfectly under a plane seat because I needed a travel bag. So that's one example. But then also in the way that I'm able to share my art, and thinking of right now in New Haven is an art revolution where we have more resources than ever. We have spaces like here, Creative Arts Workshop, we have organizations like the Arts Council, which are providing grants and spaces and opportunities and things for people that haven't existed before, which influences the way that I share my art and the reach that I have and the way that it affects people. Another one of my missions is providing access to fine art to people who never had access before. And I'm letting people in the shows for free and things like that. And so the way I create, again, is very much about right now, it's about the moment, and it's also about where I'm going and where we're going, and also where we can be. Yeah, I'll leave it right there.
It's an interesting question for me because I generally work for other companies, and so I'm at the behest of whatever the company wants, someone else's vision. But when I have the opportunity to have a vision, I make that vision as black as I can.
Okay.
I had that opportunity at Nagi because they were very serious about diversity, and so I was able to put my stamp on things and say, hey, you shouldn't do this. Like, hey, this black girl here needs to be like this because it's not my resource. She put barrettes and plaits. That's what my mom been doing since I was a kid to other little girls in the family, cousins, god sisters, things like that. So for me, and it's been mentioned before, it's about representation, right? It's like, so much money is made off black culture, right? Internet slang is black culture. Music is black culture. You know, fashion. You know, and folks will leech off it without, that's how they sit at the table. And so for me, if I get to sit at the table, I'm gonna get more seats at the table for other folks. And so for me, that's a sign of times where we should be there. Are the youth should be there, or the youth should know that there's an opportunity for them in art. You don't have to go play football, basketball, be a rapper, whatever, which all things are fine. But, sometimes the arts aren't nurtured in some cases, So if I ever have an opportunity to go teach kids, I did earlier this year in July in Rennaisance, New Jersey, and just to see the talent there and the kids' faces and be like, wait, I can do this. I can do this as a job and make money. Like, to me, like, that's what it's about. Like, having us there and us being there instead of people essentially just, being culture vultures.
Okay. Thank you.
So that was me. Like when you say kids saying, "Can you?" or "I can do it," and make a living. I didn't realize that artists couldn't live off of their work until I was in this program at Weston. I was in school in Richmond. They sent us away for the summer to this program for the summer, and we were introduced to creative professionals. And I remember my photography teacher spoke about how he studied off of a couple of ad campaigns. And I looked at his photography and I was like, I mean, I love him as a teacher, but I was like, I can do that. You know what I mean? I didn't know it existed. I didn't even know art schools existed. So what you're saying is that it resonates with me. But to answer your question, it's like my ideas around contemporary work are primarily for me around language and symbolism and a democratic approach to the image, like you said. It's like, the world of fine art being approachable. So like I make work where when we're in this transition going from a language-based system of communication to a symbolic and iconographic way of communication. That's why we use memes and emojis and reels to communicate with each other, complex feelings now, you know what I mean? And I think that my work is kind of a nod to that, hopefully in a way that translates, because I do feel like the meme and the reel are always these iconographic images, even like the thumbs up and things like that. We're in the second generation of that now, because now these icons now mean different things to different generations, right? So we've been speaking with symbol for so long now that we have cultural differences now based on what people think a certain thing means to them. So I'm trying to create work that's symbolic in a way that that will connect and resonate with people now. You know what I mean? I think that connects with Raheem too, because you work with all of the symbols. Yeah. Not all the simple word, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's a huge part of the process, right? So like that's what I'm focused on. But also, I talk to the students, I feel out of touch sometimes, you know what I mean? But like that's what's important. That's what I feel like is like the contemporary concern, being able to speak in the language of the now. You know what I mean? That's
So we're coming to the end. I have two more questions. Brandon, I just want to touch on something you said, and you've already answered. You said art isn't nurtured in children. So I wanted to know, at what point did you yourself realize that you were an artist?
Pretty early on. I don't know, 5 or 6. I think my parents saw that and they nurtured it, and so I've been going to art school since middle school essentially. So I got to magnet program in middle school. High school wasn't so much of a art school, but I was in magnet there as a teaching magnet. But I do a lot of art there, like AP art and
What's that?
It's in Florida.
Okay.
You would know.
I went to a magnet school here, that's all.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, it was very early, and my dad knew how to draw. My dad liked photography. He wanted to do it. He wanted to go to school for it, but he got drafted into it, but yeah, so like when I was drawing, coming up, my dad would help me. My older brother had friends that were artists, so they would like teach me stuff, and so yeah, it's just everybody encouraged me. There was never a moment of no, you shouldn't do this, no, like, I did have to explain to just as an artist, that doesn't mean I'm just going to paint and to put to the gallery, because fine art is really hard and it's really, something that can't be like financially viable. But I said, hey, there are other jobs besides just that. I can go work for companies. So, okay.
Same question. At what point did you realize that you were an artist?
I'm a young artist, baby. Both of my parents are artists, and so I grew up in a house where something was always being created and built. My dad taught me how to rap for him. So yeah, it's just always, it's who I am, yeah, it's just who I am. As far as realizing that I can make a living as an artist, that's a part of the journey that I've been on, but also, I'd say over, I don't know, maybe the last 8 years or so, just meeting people who were able to pay for houses and cars and go to happy hour and all of that from art money, and that, it just became a journey of mine to just make a living, just being myself and doing what I'm good at and what I enjoy. So the simple answer is it's always been that way, and then the more focused answer I'll say over the last 8 or so years when I really decided that this is the life that I want to live, and I know it's possible, and so I'm on that journey of making it happen, and then also hoping to put other people in position to make that happen. So where I had to discover it myself, now I'm like a bishop of sorts, of showing people that this is the type of life that you can live in this world. So yeah, that's my message to you.
I think I first found that I was an artist when I was probably like 4. I'm old, so that was like 1974. My mom brought me like Railroad crayons. That's what we used to sell in the box. I used to like look at the TV and color Frosted Flakes and Richard Chalmers characters. I didn't realize I was good until I was probably like in 4th grade, and the teacher would say like, where did I get the picture from? And I was like, well, we just can't read the paper, so I drew it. In high school, I started drawing for other people in class, in art class, and I got a B while everybody else got an A. I thought that was weird.
Wow.
Yeah, but I made some money. I made some cash.
Okay.
I think it was supposed to be like a discipline. They tried to discipline me like that. I didn't realize you could make money doing art until I was probably 36. 36. I was 36 when I did it. And one of my best friends is a fashion designer, and he had somebody come over to the house, and I designed like 3 outfits for them, and it was like the fastest $500 I made in like 45 minutes, and I was like, what? And so I figured that was something that was inspiring me, and I tried to always do that over, but my other career got in the way. I'd gone to the Marine Corps for a little while. I was a company scribe. Company scribe means that I got to draw a flyer. So when we would run and do PT's physical training, it was my flag that, everybody would say the company 2098, I think it was, they would be able to say, oh, no, that's the company scribe, because they would ask me. That just meant I had to do less push-ups on the board. That's all that meant. But art has been very, very important to me. Now that I'm 54, so I've been drawing for like exactly 50 years. So, it's been something very, very important to me. And don't let me forget to show you the H&M picture that I want to show you guys before we go.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
My question would be, what would you go back in time and tell your younger self?
say exactly what I did. I'd go back to 2005. Yeah, and I don't buy like Apple stock. I go back to 2007 and I buy Amazon stock. I probably wouldn't be here now, but I'd probably hire everyone and we'd all be millionaires. That's what I do.
I have to actually think about this. I think real simply is you can literally do whatever you want to do that. Do what you want to do.
Besides the obvious, like, buy the stock thing, buy Yahoo, but sell it before, you know, that type of stuff. But besides that myself, I'll probably tell myself to stick with math more. Yeah, so I used to, I'm a math nerd, and I still love math. I just probably wish, now that the work I'm doing now, since I haven't done math in so long, now I gotta relearn this again. So I'll probably tell myself to like stick with math, or just basically like learn some computer science stuff. Basically, that's kind of what I'm getting at. I'm doing like more logic and some scripting and programming like stuff now. Oh yeah, I gotta use my math brain now, not just my artist brain. So, and then not to say that like I'm not bad at, I used to be a math tutor, so like I love math. It's just I'm out of practice. So, just probably tell myself to see in practice.
Yeah, I would probably, outside of just telling my younger self to just put it out, like the ideas that you have, just put them out, you know what I mean? But also I would just say laugh. Like, it's not that serious, bro. You know what I mean? It's a marathon. Like, that's it. You know, just really just enjoy the journey.
And I guess last question before we go and get out of here. Are you guys currently working on anything? And if so, what is it that you're working on right now?
Technically, I'm not working on anything. Not anything to release, I'll say that. But I've been learning and practicing Unreal Engine, game development stuff.
Wow, okay. That's kind of big. That's not nothing.
I just released a short film called If We Leave Now. It's a slow motion, black and white meditation, and I'm writing a dance film that is it's basically a deconstruction of like how people move when they walk and interact down the street, regular folks. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Wait, I gotta show you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm horrible at this. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like the promotion stuff is terrible. So this weekend, starting tomorrow, I am screening my short film, If We Leave Now. It's 3 projectors, so it's 3 films playing simultaneously at 800 Union Avenue in Bridgeport at Mountain Studios, which is a new studio space in Bridgeport, Connecticut, the city I grew up in. I'm very proud of this piece. If you can make it, please come. There will be drinks, cheese, and crackers.
So this year I began sharing my exhibitions called Ethos. It's an introspective view into the traits and characteristics that form who we are and how we present to the world and where our power lies. And shared through different mediums. So there's the wearable art, there's a 5-song EP that serves as a soundtrack to the collections. At the opening, I had a 5-course dinner, which is each course was curated according to the themes of the collections, and there were 6 drinks curated with the same theme. I'm doing 5 paintings right now, and then I'm also working on a visual, like a movie aspect of it. So over the next few months, you'll be seeing the paintings and the movie. And then on the business side of things, putting a pause on the custom work, focusing on small batch limited collections and some ready to wear. And my store placements, actually next week, I'm going to Europe for 4 weeks to Artshow. So I was invited to 2 fashion shows, and so I took that as an opportunity to be out there and tap in with the style scene, the creators and entrepreneurs, but even more so with the boutiques and the high-end concept stores, and form some partnerships. So on the business side, I'll be doing a lot more partnerships with stores. So right now I'm in 7 stores around here. I'm just looking to keep that going. That's what I'm doing.
That's what's up. I myself am probably working on about like 4 things. I want to finish the master's. Now that I'm retired, I do a little bit part-time and basically just patiently go to school. That's one thing. I started a book. I've got like 21 pages on. Basically, it's interactive policing with the African American community, like the things that we're supposed to know, things that we're supposed to do, like what we do during the crosstalk, what you're not supposed to do. Certain things from my viewpoint, where I always believe that being a black police officer, I was always walking a tightrope. Here it is. Before I left, I was working at a place called SRG, which is on 42nd Street. It stands for Strategic Response Group. And basically, we went to protest. But I noticed like 90% of what the protesters were protesting, I agree with. So it was very difficult for me to have to interact with my people who I actually believe had a point. And in the book, I will kind of illustrate different ways that you can still make a point without actually protesting and risking arrest or risking detention or violations or tickets or whatever like that, as well as tell my viewpoint as to how it happened. The 4th thing is going to be, I got like 300 unfinished illustrations. So, I mean, if you see my Facebook page, like every 2 weeks, I post multiple images. So, I was doing and with the help of Raheem, I'll be doing more whiteboarding because I was doing it.
All right. That was it for us. I mean, does anybody around the room have any questions for the guests or? No? All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you
for joining us.
Can we switch from position?
Oh, absolutely. All right.